We bring you this week's Knoller's Nuggets. My White House colleague is being honored at next month's White House Correspondents' Dinner for his years of dedicated service, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, Mark, tell me about what happened today at that bipartisan meeting the president had with the leaders of Congress on financial reform.
Well, what we learned after congressional leaders came out is that there is still an enormous amount of disagreement between Republicans, congressional Republicans, and the Democrats in Congress and with the president. The president is looking for the next big accomplishment on his domestic agenda. Having enacted health care reform, he wants financial regulatory reform enacted this year. He says we can't afford to have another situation where there's an economic meltdown because of unregulated activities on Wall Street.
Yeah, well, guess what? The Republicans don't like it, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. They sure don't like it. They're saying that what the president's plan would do would institutionalize taxpayer bailouts of big financial banks and institutions, and they won't go along with that.
So what chance do you think we have of seeing a bill get through the Senate? Who knows, right?
Well, it's just like on health care. We may not know until the last minutes of the final vote in one of the chambers.
All right, yesterday the president concluded his two-day summit meeting on nuclear materials. They got an agreement to cooperate, but it's non-binding. I mean, what does it really mean? What do you think? How do you do?
Well, it's not binding, but to listen to President Obama, it is a major historic landmark. He got the leaders of 46 other nations to agree that over the next 4 years, they will account for all the nuclear material that's loose within their countries, so-called loose nukes, and secure it within 4 years. The president made it clear that there's an enormous danger that terrorists could get this nuclear material and use it to create a bomb against the United States or any other nation.
Well, probably won't get much argument on that, but our friend Dana Milbank wrote this morning in the Washington Post that the president conducted this summit in such a closed manner that it was like being in the old Soviet Union. What do you think about that?
Well, you know, I think Dana overwrote the story a little bit. Yes, we weren't allowed to cover the actual plenary sessions in the morning and afternoon that the president held with his fellow leaders. But you know what? We're never allowed to cover those events. It didn't begin in the United States for 30 years. Whenever we go to an economic summit, the G7 or G8, the APEC international summits with Asia Pacific Rim nations, we're never allowed to cover those plenary sessions. They're always held behind closed doors, and we come to terms with it.
Well, you know what? Just allow me an editorial comment. More access is better. I'll stop there.
Well, no one's going to disagree with you, but
yeah,
certainly
really controversial.
Access is better than no access. No argument.
All right, listen, Mark, you're going to receive an award at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on May 1st, and I'm happy to tell everybody about it. It's the Aldo Beckman Award, and it's for excellence in covering the White House over a long period of time, which you've done, 35 years. And you are the ultimate repository of all facts and figures. This award is richly deserved, and I want to congratulate you. But let me just say this. I have a question for you, the question that I can never answer. What was your favorite moment covering the White House?
You know, I'm not sure that I can pin my sights on a specific moment that I thought was my favorite, but there have been many moving moments that I've covered. I remember once being in Ukraine with Bill Clinton when he went to Babi Yar, which is the cemetery for 100,000 Nazi war dead during World War II. And it was the president and first lady tossed flowers into the open pit that had served as a grave. It was very moving. And there are lots of historic moments like that that you only get to see when you cover this beat.
Mark, thanks very much.